Okay, so doing a recap today. Another green day for us in the investment club. Things got off to a very hot start with SMCI. I noticed it looked more like distribution early in the morning, so we exited the position quite rapidly. I had some put debit spreads that I'd kept a hedge that I wound up taking profits on later in the day, and just didn't really like the price action on the stock, especially with AMD reporting after the bell. I thought AMD was way ahead of itself as far as price, almost doubling since last couple months, and really starting to show some weakness on the chart here. If you noticed, after hours is kind of ugly. I'm seeing a big rejection of the 176, and then, excuse me, right down to my price target around the 160 is what I'm looking for on a retest here. But I think this has momentum to hit 150. Markets, I think, are way ahead of themselves. And so 150, even 130 and coming back and retesting this area wouldn't be far-fetched. But I think AI is leading the way. I'm looking for at least a 160 touch tomorrow. Pre-market, I think we'll hit it. And 150, I believe, also is possible. I do believe we might get a bounce going into a Fed meeting. Typically, we have some short covering before Powell speaks. I think the consensus is another pause, but everybody's looking for whether the first rate hike is going to happen in March or not. I think we're down to 40 some percent chance now whether it's going to hike or not, or excuse me, cut. My apologies, in March. So Google, we took puts on this. Uh, I'm never big surprise on Google to me. I think they always suck at earnings personally. Their conference call is even worse. The leader of Google, I don't know how he keeps a job, but anyway, quite easy put here. We took the 152.50, so we're actually in the money. I think these will double in the morning, maybe more. Um, Again, great earnings report, great stock, just terrible CEO conference call. Microsoft, we stayed long on this, and I mentioned this in the call. Pretty much flat from earnings. We need a breakup of 409.72 previous day close to really be able to add to this position. We saw a nice bounce off 396. I wanted to see a 393 touch on the retest, but 396 is good enough. I would expect this to be trying for to maintain VWAP because it did maintain VWAP after hours, and the earnings were very good. I think the company is very good. A lot of people want to own this stock. I think it's out ahead of itself a little bit as far as price currently, and could come in. I'd like to buy more around 380, but anyway, I don't see much in the report that would have me go short this stock. However, cover calls do help. But this right here, Microsoft, Google, and then AMD was a disaster as far as price action goes. Look at the big reversal here, 176. Flick the switch and good night, folks. This was all the way to 160 after hours. And like I said, I want to see the 150 on this tomorrow if we don't bounce off the 160. We took Tesla short here today at 195. Some really interesting price action in the morning. I didn't like the price action. I didn't like the earnings. I don't like the stock personally. Elon Musk, I do like, but if you're listening, Elon, I'm sorry, but you're stuck. I don't think it's valued properly, and I think it's way ahead of itself. 195 here. Nice rejection. We took short. I think we got to 182 again, post after hours or whatever. Be interesting to see how this opens. Had a nice curl and bounce on this 182. So you could get a double bottom here. There's a lot of people that love Tesla. And if you do love Tesla and you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I don't. Um, this right here is a support I'm looking for us to get to after rejection here that will likely come in sometime soon on them because the stock itself is just atrocious. The price action, it moves however it wants to. And to me, it's not really a fun stock to trade unless you're trading it on Friday and you have 1,000%er because it tends to do whatever it wants to do. But again, I think this stock's more evenly valued around the 168 area, and even could see the 140s. I'm not in the camp that thinks they'll see 100 again. It is possible, but highly improbable or highly not probable. I promise English is my first language. So big rejection off the 260 on the daily, and it has been a train wreck all year. Last one I'm going to go over is Boeing. This one right here is also another train wreck. Kind of looks like Tesla in price action too, from 260 down to 200. I don't expect much to come out of earnings. This could see 178 post earnings tomorrow. This could also see 220. I'm not playing this stock either way. Don't really like it as far as the price action goes. I do think this stock is way oversold, and I would like to see a 10% bounce back after earnings. I will be looking to play this one way or another, whether we're playing 180 bounce or we're playing up to 220 and reject. And sorry, I did tell a lie. I got one more. Starbucks here. Starbucks, we took long, mostly because of the fact that it's just way oversold. And I don't know why it's oversold as far as other than people just saying, hey, we think the numbers are going to be bad. This is curling up nicely. We had the $100 calls out till March monthlies. These should place well tomorrow. I think these may double in price. They were very cheap on the call side. This I would like to see close this gap up here, come up in the 99 area, and try this $100 psychological area again, which happens to be a resistance point right now on the daily chart. If you take a look at this on the weekly, you can see why we went long. Look at the support here at the $90 area. I didn't think this was going to be breached. I didn't see a reason why this stock would breach that. Again, I didn't see any reason as far as consumers turning their coffee cravings off. So I continue to stay long this stock at the $90 area. And like I said, we got calls going into tomorrow. This is not a spread trade. This is pure calls for us. I don't have a cap on this. Like I said, I like to see 100 on the psychological level. We could see 105 over the coming weeks. So I bought a little time on these. No zero or hero on these. I just like the setup. Looks great. And for most people, they didn't like it. Some of them went short. And for those people, I'll be glad to take your shares and your money. So that's all I have. QQQ, we took short too. I bought puts. It's way extended over the moving average on the daily and the weekly. We've had a really good run. I'm seeing some curls coming in. I'm seeing some internals look really bad as far as the stock market internals itself. I would like to see us down the 410 area, retest this gap, 414, whatever it's called. Yeah, 414.73. I'd like to see a retest this gap here, honestly, before I'd like to get long QQQ again. Our longer term holdings, Conoco, checking in on it, doing really well. Nice bounce here. We took the double bottom entry here after selling at 121. We missed the top, I think, by 8 cents. Nice pattern here coming in. We are above the support line again. Very clear support on Conoco, so very easy to play. We play commons on this in the longer term accounts, dividend play, and we want to see this fill this gap here. This could reject tomorrow with the FOMC coming in, and if you haven't noticed, the 10-year overnight is below that 4.05 pivot area that we looked at. When we called a bounce. I think if this fills a gap, we go back to 3.8 on the 10. That could spell trouble for oil and gas because we start pricing in a recession at that point, and oil and gas will likely drop again. We do have a lot of money coming into oil and gas right now, so I don't know if it'll drop off a cliff or not. But a lot of people want to rotate out of AI stocks, and they want to rotate into oil and gas. ExxonMobil, another break of downtrend on the daily. And 110 price target on this up here at this top gap. Again, another break of a downtrend in oil and gas. It looks great. As long as it doesn't look like this stock did today, we should look well. Look at Schlumberger falling off a cliff. And then hopefully it's going to hold that 47.50 area. If it doesn't, then we likely hit 45, or excuse me, 48. If we don't hold that 47.50 area, I'll be surprised, because that next step down is 45 and then 42.50. So I'm liking oil and gas. McDonald's crossed over a major fib today, but it is coming into resistance. We had sold this at 301. We missed the top again on this one by about $1. But we want to re-enter this, but it's outside the trend line. So hoping to see a break and hold on this. I think this may fail, but we'll see. Continuation on this beautiful trend would be great. McDonald's has been killing people for at least 100 years, so might as well enjoy the profits on the stock price. So last one was Verizon. We took this long in the comments as well. Not much here. Kind of like watching grass grow. 37.50 was our retest area here. We saw the retest hold, and so we took long, and it's taken off. Good dividend on the stock, but again, like watching grass grow. That's all we have for today. Hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe below. If you're not part of the investment club and you want live call outs instead of a recap of what we've already taken, you can subscribe on the link tree below, or you can hit me up in the DMs and I'll give you a shout back. Thanks.